It's an intense course and it's very, very hard. So it's not Megan Aarons now who's dropped, it's Myrta Mons, number 23, who's gone out the back of this peloton. Megan Aarons has clearly got herself back in. Myrta Mons. Top of the climb nice and smoothly, but these two riders are finding it's a little bit difficult. The Ethiopian rider, right there in the second from the left as we look, with the blue bike, the yellow sleeve and red sleeve, she could really do something special for Africa today. She's part of the World Cycling Centre. She just finished 22nd in the general classification of the Tour de l'Avenir. She's the Ethiopian champion. She is an incredible bike rider. And she looks like life is very, very easy at the front of that peloton right now. Aarons has moved up on the right-hand side, looking a lot more comfortable now. More riders coming back. Myrta Mons is coming back, so is the Belgian rider. She makes the back of the peloton. So maybe just having a difficult moment on those cobbles, just didn't like the pace. The end of lap number 1 of this 5-lap race. Finding the pace a little bit too hot to handle with Antonia Sedmanova. And a very bunched pack now, having lost a number of riders from the 71 that started on lap number 1, but we'll see what the average speed is and we'll see who's left. Number 1 of this women's junior road race. We're looking at that lap at nearly just under 24 minutes. Number 1 completed. And everybody across the roads. Themselves to the feet, opportunity to take bottles on board and get themselves ready. In the bottles, as many bottles as they can, gels with the bottles as well. We've got 41 there moving her way up. The Marta, the 17 at the back is Marta Golden. 34.3 kilometres an hour on that first lap. So a very steady opening lap of racing, as we can tell. There's our Brazilian rider at the back. Lots of history being made today. Natalie Phillips just having some water poured over her back. Abigail Miller doing that for her, number 4. And Gabrielle McHugh to her left-hand side. That's one of our riders from Colombia. Storio, number 38. Spinning along there nicely in the peloton and just conserving the energy. Luciano Osorio, in the Pan American Youth Games in the road race back in August. She's the Pan American Continental Champion as a junior in both the road race and the time trial. Now we start to see a little bit of an acceleration from Spain. And the first big attack of today's race. So really big stretch at the front. It's Bruce Muller, who's making a move with the Spanish rider as well. Suddenly the peloton is in one line as riders have to react to the acceleration. Brazilian rider makes her way back into the group, which is good news, and another counter-attack from Czechia. Just jumping off the front now, so that little reaction has caused now waves to go through the group. This is Germanova. She was struggling for a little while, and now she's back at the front looking good. Germanova on one of the UAE team ADQ bikes, as you can see, with the colours of that machine as she makes her way off the front. Seconds now, here's the advantage as she jumps away. Now it's sitting again towards the back on the right hand side. Germanova, 17 years of age. Had some good results this season already. Growing to 12 seconds advantage and 9 seconds advantage. One of the Kazakhstan riders. Germanova looking comfortable. Well, here's one of the old UAE Team ADQ bikes that she's riding. You can tell immediately with the four colours that she's got. She's drying away very, very nicely, isn't she? She's ridden a lot of races this season, 34 race days for a junior. She's had lots of top three results. She was quite a lot in Belgium during the season. She was 9th in the junior Tour of Flanders. Finished second on a stage of Vuelta Cantabria. Third overall in the general classification. That race was won by Spirakova, teammate. Celia Torres was in second place. She's decided to take this race on nice and early. Finished 18th in the Grand Prix Serra-Tisit. Back at the end of August in preparation for these World Championships. 7 seconds is a considerable margin now for Germanova to do something to grow this lead even further. Everybody seems quite happy to just let this pace just track along. She's taken a good opportunity. There's a long, long way out. Rwandan riders returns back into the peloton. And more riders coming back. Another of the Rwandan riders returns as well. Joined by Rahel Gimbato, the other Ethiopian, number 57. It's obviously been quite a hard chase for them, but they've managed to get themselves back into the peloton, live another day here. One of the Ethiopian riders has just returned. So way up the outside. It's very important always in junior racing to be thinking, okay, I'm at the back now, but that's not the place to be. Get myself back up there, as close to the front as possible. This rider is very, very comfortable, isn't she, in the cadence she rides and the way she rides. Look at that, there's no rock in those shoulders whatsoever. It's all about energy transmission through the pedals, keeping the pace as high as possible. She's tracking along here at 50 kilometers an hour. It looks extremely comfortable that she can continue like this for a long period of time. She's now in a position where she controls what happens. She's able to ride the lines that she wants to ride. She heads her way towards Kigali Gold for the second time. Reached the bottom there in 1.4 kilometers. Before there, we've got that little bit of a drag uphill now. Sitting at the back. Last night we went to an important presentation in the world of cycling where they announced the various schedules for the next year's World Championships, which will be, of course, in Montreal and Canada. They announced the different days. There will be a bit of a return, actually, to how the World Championships used to be. So there will be a day where there is no racing at all on the Wednesday of the schedule. What was noticeable was that there will be a day on Tuesday of 3 different races to be held. But a lot of racing to cover, of course. One thing that really stood out for me was that the women's road race will be held over 180 kilometres on the Saturday, with 2,500 metres of climbing. 180 kilometres is a long, long way. And I think the longest World Championship we've ever had for women. Other things to note was that the women's and men's elite individual time trial will take place on the first day on the Sunday, and they'll both be held over exactly the same distance of 39.9 kilometres with 195 metres of elevation. So pretty much a flat power time trial. So for the men in the suits, those real power riders, the women, it's a Rolls-Royce style course. The big day on Tuesday will be the men's junior time trial, the team time trial mixed relay, and the women's junior individual time trial all on the same day. So a lot of headlines there, and there was a really nice presentation by the various people from Montreal. It was interesting to hear the various tourism aspects. She's now shown 40 seconds. the tourism aspects of Montreal, what they're planning, lots of background on visas and the feel of the city. Got a full rundown of all the courses, and I'm sure you'll be able to see those now online with the various media outlets covering them. To Kigali Golf then for the peloton. It feels like some of the teams realise that they don't want their lone leader out there for too long. Time when we got to the end of the lap, there were 47 riders left in the peloton from a total of 71 starters. We've seen a few riders return, and now this Ethiopian rider has decided that she is going to push the pace. Tadej Pogačar looks like she wants to start to make some selections. She comes up and catches Germanova already. Let's hope that she doesn't get carried away and do too much too early, because this rider has a chance of winning this World Championship. Now she attacks. Ethiopia in the ascendancy on this climb. Well, so much of the work in the African nations is about trying to find an endurance athlete who is world class. And this rider is. There is no doubt about it. A little selection now at the front of this race. Germanova is fourth, and it's the Ethiopian rider who is trying to make everybody suffer a little bit. She's dragged away a group of riders. She checks over her shoulder and she goes again. If you ever saw a pure climber in world cycling, well, she has the exact stature and the riding style of a pure climber in world women's cycling. She looks like she is really making everyone hurt. There are riders grappling for wheels right now. So a selection of riders now at the front of this junior women's road race. We're over Kigali Golf for the second time. Thompson on the wheel now. The Ethiopian rider off the back of the peloton. The Australian team trying to come back now into the race. Billy Schweitzer is dragging this group back. Probably looking around at each other, conversations going as well. The Spanish rider is having a real chat at riders across from her. Here's Alexandra Safiri, she's back in the group. Rider back into the group of riders. 69 now on the right-hand side. Heading towards Kigali for the second time. Now riders get the sense of who has got the legs. No doubt that the Ethiopian rider has got the climbing legs, and she used those to good effect as the race continues. Right there, Madeline Phillips. Number 4 is Abigail Miller. Number 41 there is Leah Marta from Switzerland. Switzerland have a good team in here. 2 riders. Anya Working is the rider on the front, who's keeping alongside everybody else. Canada moving up with Sydney Swarenga. Again, they've had their guidance from during an early season with Caroline Canuel from Canada. Trying to just give these riders all the little attributes they need to be clever and win bike races, giving them the experience they need. The Canadians have always, particularly in cyclocross, have had a little bit of a pace as more riders come racing back in. Canadians have always had a base in Belgium, particularly around cyclocross. We've seen them grow in their stature around these sports and development of riders. Particularly being based and helped by Tim Harris of Belgium as well, who's well known for having a load of houses around Belgium where the races are on. He's a professional rider and sports director for the Movistar team. And he certainly helps out as many teams and riders as possible. Downhill now. The Britain team starting to show towards the front. It's one of the fastest sections of the course. At the back, number 67. See if she can just stay there now. The Brazilian rider we were talking about a little while ago, she's hanging around the back of this race. She can do with trying to find her way up the group of riders into a more comfortable kind of level. Saying it's another thing actually doing it. This is where we saw the crash last time. Wow, that was a fast rock into that particular left-hander from the Norwegian, and back onto the cobbles for the second time. Last time we saw a number of riders really struggle up here. Outside Canada, the Ethiopian rider still there and looking good. Again, more riders feeling pace. Chermanova actually has gone out the back again this time. The Maloise of Canada, she's struggling a little bit here. Again, Sunny Lorizon of Belgium, she's struggling too there on the right hand side. It's the same riders who are feeling the pace. The Canadian riders suddenly being the pace. 3 of their riders going out the back. Abigail, 48, also struggling a little bit. Number 12, number 13 there is Raphael, who suddenly they are not enjoying this climb at all. Yet again, it's the Ethiopian rider who really rips it up the cobbles. Again, a selection is being made. Next is Jaramillo, also struggling. To the race then on the left-hand side, Ethiopia represented, Switzerland, Canada, Australia on the right-hand side, France are represented too, so are Italy. This forcing of the tempo is really starting to cause problems for riders every single lap. And there are riders who are finding these cobbles just not to their liking at all. Slowly but surely, this attritional race, even in these early stages, is starting to show us who the strongest bike riders are in this women's junior road race. Australia still have one rider right at the back there. There's a massive group of riders that have been dropped. So many of the British riders are in here as well. Gabriella McHugh. Gear problem there for Marta Dolven. Doesn't look like it's going to be the day for Megan Aarons at the moment, and her teammate Roos Muller are also out the back. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise, but it's that cobbled section, that push that the climbers are making, that is really making a massive difference in this particular race. Anja Grossman of Switzerland, so animated. Australia have one representative in here. Italy have 3 riders in this front group. All 3 of their riders are making the selections. Elena De Laurentiis, Chantal Pogolo, Giada Silo. This is Gabriella McHugh. This is an extremely hard race so early. And there are just groups of riders spread all over this course. Just coming under 50 minutes. Worry about the Ethiopian rider doing so much work. She's been on the front so many times, but maybe that's her main tactic of the day. Keep the selections going, wear everybody down. She is the best chance so far of Africa getting a medal in these World Championships. Of course, this afternoon they've got a massive opportunity with Kim LaCour. End of the second lap of racing. 3 laps to go. The front group of Italy, Erin Bergman of Britain, Tadej Pogačar of France, Chantal Pogolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Elena De Laurentiis of Italy, Maria Orkuczynska of Poland, Rafael Carrier of Canada, Liliana Edwards of the USA, Niamh Parslow of Australia, Laura Feeb of Belgium, Alyssa Sarkisov of the USA, and finally Oda Gissinger of the team of Norway. That's the front group of riders. There are some names not in the front group that we would have expected. Such is the harshness of this race so far. Grossman looks very, very comfortable. Australia now starts to up the tempo. Evenepoel in second place for Great Britain. Philly Schweitzer is trying to keep this momentum going. Number 50 from Chile. This is Marlon Rojas. In front of Bruce Muller, trying to come back into the peloton. Suddenly there's a little bit of a slowing of the pace. The Swiss riders, Anja Grossman and Alia Marta. Have got Muriel Ferrer in their minds in some way. I'm sure the whole Swiss community has as well. An attack now from Spain. Big move down the right-hand side as we look. Looking at that return of riders. Decided to go on the offensive. Now Arabella Blackburn tries to do the same. Immediately going onto her wheel as the Swiss rider. It's Lara Almania who is up the road now on the attack for Spain. This is the rundown of the Spanish team. They're Almania at the front. 18 years of age. Third in the Junior National Road Race Championships. She's also had some good results this year. She won a race in Spain back in March. The Dondara Femenino. She's ridden a few races across the world. And riders retiring here at the finish line. This is Hanakova of Czechia, end of her race. Well, this rider likes to go on the moves, Lara Almania. She's had quite a lot of top 6 places during this season, this rider, so she's not to be underestimated as she rides away. Rides for a little team called Rio Miera, CC Marula Juniors. Everybody has just settled down now as she starts to grow her lead. The bottom of Kigali Golf this time will be 36.9 kilometres of racing to go. Alongside each other, number 61 and 62, Danshina and Ismailova, riding for the neutral athletes team. There they are in that kind of ice blue kit, I think we'll call it. Just riding alongside each other, keeping each other together. Megan Aarons has found her way back into the race, number 22. It's always difficult when you win the individual time trial as a junior. So much happens on that particular day. And I'm sure the excitement is pretty high as well. So your recovery time doesn't necessarily allow you to just be as prepared as you could be. So it might take her a little bit of time to just get herself feeling as she did the other day. So Almenia looks around, glances across. There is a chance when you go through that turn that you can glance over to the left and you get an idea of where the peloton is. We're coming up to be inside the final 40 kilometres of today's race. Little bike tattoo on the Spanish rider. And she just sprints her way over the top of that little rise. Just keeping the momentum going, all very important. All these little techniques that riders learn at this sort of age. Just keep the momentum over the top of the climb. Don't let the climb slow you down. Just sprint over the top. Keep the momentum over the top and keep pushing so that you accelerate your way onto the descent. So if you're just joining us, we are into 3 laps to go. We've got one rider off the front. It's the Spanish rider, Almenia. She's just attacked. She's gone clear. And here's a rundown of the situation. Peloton. And a little bit behind the Spanish team. One rider has been dropped. There's a lot of people around the race at the moment today and helping out with the various teams. Just seen a little post from Africa Rising, which is the organisation that's doing everything it can to try and promote the African riders. And I think Benin have got a shared car today with Namibia for the women's junior race. They brought in one of their riders, Roger Surin, who we've seen racing, as the Namibian mechanic. And they've got Adrian Neonshuti driving. And I think I mentioned him the other day. So while they're in the car, they've called Dan Craven, who's from Namibia, to say hello as well. So everybody linking in together. Incredibly, today, I can't quite believe it. It's 10 years since Lizzie Deignan won the women's road race in Richmond in Virginia. 10 years goes quickly, doesn't it? Well, the fans enjoying this race so far as we make our way towards the climb of Kigali Gulf this time. We're almost at the bottom. This rider's going to be first onto it. Then we'll see whether there's any more damage on this climb as riders try to accelerate. We'll see whether next time round we have more than the 18 riders we had in the peloton. Things have swelled now. More riders are coming back. It's one of those courses where you just don't give up. You make sure that you try and keep the pressure on. And retiring here at the finish is Davine Ogbe of Nigeria. He's trying to recover after what has been a tough race. Today's race started with 74 kilometers of racing to go. We're now at 36.8, so we're inside the midway point. Thank you for all your messages today. At Ant McCrossness, if you would like to get hold of me during the racing. We've got a big, long day of coverage of today's races with the junior women and then the elite women this afternoon that we are very much looking forward to. How is that race going to play out? 500 meters or so to go to the top of Kigali Gulf this time. We crest it at 36.1 kilometers of racing to go. Megan Aarons doesn't enjoy these little accelerations, does she, at the back? Whose legs must be hurting after that time trial. She's just looking for any way of staying there. I don't know if you've had a look at Alison Jackson's social media in the last day or so, but she's got a lovely reel of all the shots that she's taken of the locals out on their bikes. And I saw the other day when we were out and about. I haven't had much chance to be out and about because we've been here most of the time, but there's people with big, massive bunches of bananas on the back of a bike, or milk crates, or carrying doors or windows or whatever on the back of these long wheelbase machines that they have. It's absolutely incredible to see. Yet again, it's Tanya Grossman on the front who is setting the pace. The Ethiopian rider decides, Kiros, to just sit in the wheels this time. Maybe decided it's good to keep a little bit of energy in check. The gap is 28 seconds. I don't think that's 28 seconds though, is it? That's coming back very, very fast. Just shows the tempo at which this group of riders is able to ride this particular climb. Larry Almania is in front and they're nearly at the top of Kigali Gulf and they're almost on her wheel. Kissinger looks comfortable, doesn't she? Number 18. Also, Alyssa Sarkisov of the United States is there at the back. She looks very comfortable on these climbs as well. So the peloton come round the corner. Everybody looks at each other. They've almost caught the leader. They're 12 seconds behind her, but now there's no real push to try and catch her. The Italian team moving around a little bit just behind. Gail Miller just pedaling her way back on. Megan Aarons doing the same. Marta Dolvin in the colours of Norway, that red, white and blue coloured kit. She wants water. Looking for a soigneur. It's extremely warm. She sees her soigneur a little bit further up. Looking for some water now, which she manages to get, which is good news. Gets rid of the bottle as well. Got a gel attached to that. Puts it in the pocket. She'll need that a little bit later. She's still got 35 kilometers to go. So important that these riders are able to get their hydration. First hour racing, 34.3 kilometers an hour. We're not actually that far off the average speed of the women's under-23 road race when you look at it. So this time round, she's going to get 2 laps of racing to go. This is our solo leader, Larry Almania of Spain. Two laps of racing to decide this World Championship, and this is a shot, gives you that perspective in the background of the hills that just roll away from here. Now Great Britain have decided it's time to try and keep some momentum going, not let this gap go out too much. We're heading towards the cobbles again. Megan Aaron's just pouring some water onto her legs and just trying to keep herself as cool as possible. It started at 19 degrees when we came out for today's race, but it still feels intense, even at 19 degrees. It's not quite so intense in here. Someone's put the air conditioning on at about 12 degrees, but apart from that, you go outside and it feels completely different. Here's our rider from Lesotho, Ponso Makatile. Starting to grow a lead again. The blackboard comes up and just shows her what her time gap is. Because remember, as we've said a few times, there's no race radios in this race. This is the French rider, Maeva Planiol, who has pulled out of the race. Not her day today.
Number 19, Maeva Planiol.
It's good she's got 2 bottles on the bike now, so she can keep herself nicely hydrated around this course. 66k an hour. She just checks over her shoulder just to see what the situation is. She'll want to get to the cobbles. Just keep things pushing on and see who comes across to her. Maybe hoping that she can sort of prize some riders across. And it's really taking the pressure off the rest of the Spanish riders here, which is great for them. Paul Ostis, one of the race favourites, and Alejandra Nera. Gabriella McHugh wearing number 3, and just behind her is Nishka Isakova. Onto the cobbles then for the next time. She's chosen to go to the left-hand side. Notably, riders seem to prefer to go far left or far right if they can, if they're on their own. Man, a problem here. Oh, and this is not good news. The Ethiopian rider, this is Segi Kiros. She's had a mechanical. Oh, trying to get herself going again now. And she's got a bit of a chase. Well, the hopes of Ethiopia. She's been riding an incredible race so far, but Kiros now is in difficulty. She's got to fly her way up the cobbles, and that can take her into a zone she didn't want to be in. Now, it depends how hard this group of riders ride this climb, because if they realise she's not there, they're going to try and take advantage. She's going to have to pick her way through all of these riders. Here she is. This will give you an idea of how good a climber she is. She's got to be careful here not to overextend herself if there's more attacks. So they're about to catch the solo leader on this climb. The third ascent of Kimihurura. Sydney Swarenga there on the right-hand side for Canada. The Ethiopian rider is almost there. I can just see her in the background. She's flying her way up this climb. Meanwhile, riders like Roos Muller and others are going out the back. Lydia Cusack of the USA is dropped. Number 39, Ushakova of Ukraine being dropped now. So is Gabriella McHugh. USA, I think, with Sarkisov could be their hope for today. Just got to believe. It looks like Kyrgios has got herself back into the wheels now. And luckily for her, this peloton is not forcing the pace at the front. At the end of the day, actually, it's been her that has done most of the pacemaking on these cobbles with Anja Grossman of Switzerland. Canada still looking good with two riders there. Italy look the strongest though, don't they? All three of their riders riding on that left-hand side, looking good. "20 kilometers an hour the pace. Well, the Ethiopian rider is back in the group then. Sege Kyrgios, she's right on the back, tucked herself in now, hiding to try and recover. The Australian rider there on the left-hand side, she still looks good. Tilly Schweitzer. Tilly Schweitzer just tucks herself in. 18 years of age. Was 28th in the time trial the other day. She's had some good results. Finished second in the Tour of Assen this year. Our Tour of Assen is a very famous junior bike race. And Australia got two representatives in here now. Tilly Schweitzer's always been near the front. Tour of Assen, famous bike race. Juniors around the world go to every year. Number 37, Castrillo, being dropped, trying to come back. It really is a horrible climb, isn't it? This little group is just off the back. Constantly on the front is Anja Grossman in the red and white of Switzerland. It's a very steady tempo this time as they make their way to the completion of this lap. They're going to get 2 laps of racing to go. Everybody doesn't seem to be prepared to take the initiative right now. knowing that this distance is starting to bite, the legs are starting to hurt a little bit more, and no rider has really managed to break away for a long period of time. We just saw the Spaniard for nearly a lap.
Yes, that's what we want to hear. Hear them on bang on the barriers here.
So they pedal their way towards the completion of this lap now. It's a tough climb, a real drag up to the line. More riders have found their way back in. So the recovery there of the Ukrainian rider, she's found her way back into the group of riders. We're at nearly an hour and 20 minutes of racing. The women's junior road race is starting to enter its finale now. 2 laps of racing to go. This is our peloton, which actually has swelled in numbers, bearing in mind there were only 18 riders in the peloton the last time around. They go through, the average speed has dropped, 33.902 the average speed. Led over the line by Arabella Blackburn. 37 riders now in that front group, so we've really swelled and more than doubled it.
Was a lap completed in 33.5. The day average speed of this race 33 kilometers.
37 riders in that front group now. And so many riders who might have been suffering earlier may well now be feeling, okay, we've now got a chance, and I'm starting to ride into this race. Abigail Miller moves up, gets rid of the gel. She doesn't want that. Number 17 alongside her is Marta Dolven. And now Great Britain start to accelerate a little bit. Arabella Blackburn was the first rider across the line. She starts to up the pace. And now a really stretched group of riders as they start to put maybe the last couple of laps plan into place. A bit of an acceleration now, and Italy are starting to put riders in here. Italy have just been following all day today. Again, everybody looking at each other, swinging across the road. No one prepared to take the initiative right now after that acceleration. Spanish team come forward again. Last year, it was Kat Ferguson who took the victory ahead of Paula Ostis. Ostis is in here. She's the rider in that Movistar helmet in third place in this group of riders. So she was silver medalist last year. She wants the victory this year as Spain start to ramp this up a little bit. More counter-attacks. There's how the peloton is comprised. Feels here like there's been this lull in the middle of the race, and now we're starting to get more riders who believe that this championship could be theirs, whereas before they were really suffering in the wheels. So it's going to be these last couple of laps, and particularly that cobbled section in those last two laps, that is going to decide this race. Another big move at the front. Big acceleration. Riders really trying to get clear now from the front of this women's junior road race, using this uphill section to stretch the tempo. That little attack is nullified. Yet again, Anya Grossman at the front for Switzerland. The rider who looks the most comfortable in this race right now is the Ethiopian. And I would also say the Spanish rider, Paula Ostis, looks really comfortable. She's made her way up towards the front. She's now got her team working. Romania is doing everything she can. Megan Aarons is at the back of the group still, so she has survived all of the assaults. Romania gets a bottle. Making her way through the gears. Little conversation going on here. A chance then for some team tactics. Don't always get too much opportunity for the team tactics because of junior race, no radios. You've got to go back to the team car, but it's a nice lull here to get a chance to talk to your sports director, get some information, think about how you're going to win this race. Really intent, aren't they? This peloton is fully focused now. Italy moving up on the right-hand side. Another big attack. Constant moves to try and shift the breakaway group of riders. Every single time this road goes uphill. Yet again, Anya Grossman not prepared to let this go, the Swiss rider. 52k an hour over the top of that climb, and still this race is stretched. But still no chance of these riders getting away because every single attack is nullified. So a really stretched peloton now. We're coming up to Kigali Gulf for the next time. We're not too far away from that climb. That might be another springboard. Seemingly, the Swiss rider, Anya Grossman, wants this race to keep together. She must feel incredibly strong today to try and win at the top of the final climb or to make her move on the cobbles. And Spain now take control. They seemingly want to keep things nice and controlled for Paula Ostis. I do wonder, though, whether she can win at the top of this final rise. She's a good sprinter. We saw her very strong in the time trial. Not Not too far to go now, 24.1 kilometres. Only one rider has managed to take a big advantage over the rest of the field, but it was quickly brought back together. So it's kind of been an ebb and flow of a race. But we've maybe not lost as many riders as we thought. The only time we did was when Kyrgios attacked over the top of that climb and took only 18 riders to the finish. I wonder whether, having now recovered after that problem, that she will be the rider who manages to make that happen again. The question is whether the legs are good after that mechanical and having to chase so hard. Look at the elbow. Great Britain seem to want to have something happen here. Look at the length of this peloton. One long line as we make our way towards Kigali Golf this time. Elia Marta at the back for Switzerland. Her teammate Anja Grossman has been the rider on the front most of the time. France moving up. They've only got one rider left, so he's Poirier. So she gives France an opportunity. Australia still with two riders in here. Arabella Blackburn still trying to get some sort of attack going for Great Britain. She's constantly looking around, checking on where everybody is. Her team leader for the day would be Erin Boothman behind. She's wearing number 2. But they may well decide that Arabella Blackburn is feeling the best today. She certainly looks strong, but she just can't get away. Towering over the rest of the riders and looking exceptionally strong as we near the conclusion of this race. Again, it's Spain in the ascendancy and Colombia also getting involved in the mix now. The Greek rider, who was dropped a little while ago towards the beginning of the race, is now back and she's moving up on the outside. Almost at the bottom of Kigali Golf, but again, for this time, here we go into this climb. Is there going to be some sort of selection over the top? Anja Grossman checks over her shoulder. She wants to try and force this a little bit, moving left and right. She's quite an animated rider in the way she rides. She moves left, she moves right. She wants other people to get involved in the action that she's creating. She checks over her shoulder again. She looks strong. She's carrying the colours of Switzerland proudly today. 14% gradient, and she's making it look pretty easy. Arabella Blackburn dropping away a little bit because of this gradient. She's been doing a lot of work. Italy still with 3 riders locked together in this group. Canada with 2 riders. Aarons gets dropped again. These climbs are just not for her. You've got to admire the way she's fighting. she's trying everything she can to stay in the group. Paul Ostis, right-hand side in the blue of Spain with that white and kind of yellow-coloured helmet. The Movistar colours. Australia still with three riders in this group now. All the Australians are in position. Hannah Gennati, Niamh Parslow and Tully Schweitzer now all in this group of riders in this selection. French rider still looking good, Thérèse Poirier. She's totally on her own, having lost a teammate before the start, and her other teammate has abandoned the race. Rides for the Mormont development team. She's a very good climber. Shikova at the back of the group now. Over the top of Kigali Gold. That's that 800-metre climb at 8.1%. Yet again, the group of riders have been dropped, desperately trying to get themselves back to the race to swell the numbers at the front. Riders constantly taking gels on board, trying to keep the nutrition levels as high as they can, because we're entering the critical part of this Junior World Championship. Well, the last few years, it's been Kat Ferguson, Julie Bigot, Zoe Baxter, Megan Jastrab who've been the winners. Before that, there's some other famous medalists in this world title. Emma Norsgaard won a silver medal in 2017. Elisa Balsamo was the winner in 2016. Chloe Dygert 10 years ago in 2015. Kanishka Skalnak-Soika won bronze medals in 2015 and 2014. We remember Amelia Diedrichson, who won gold in 2013 and 2014. And this afternoon, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot comes back for the second year run into the World Championships as the winner now of the Tour de France Femme avec Zwift, gold medalist in 2010 and silver medalist in 2009. Ferrand-Prévot is one of the race favourites for the women's race this afternoon. 15 years since she won gold in the junior race. She's also been the elite world champion before as well in Ponferrada. We're almost at the cobbles now. Just 2.1 kilometres until the cobbled section for the penultimate time. Spain are in control. It's amazing that we had 18 riders and now we're back up at nearly 40. Just shows how junior racing can go sometimes. Sergei Kyrgios moves up on the left-hand side in the colours of Ethiopia. Again, she starts to look like she's maybe feeling better. Let's hope she doesn't have that mechanical issue again at the bottom of this climb. Leah Marta of Switzerland constantly leaving just 2 or 3 bike lengths. Yes. A moment of a lull again before we hit the cobbles and rumble our way up them for the penultimate time in this race. We're at nearly 10 o'clock in the morning. These riders have been up for hours. The preparation time being presented to the crowd, signing on, getting themselves ready. I saw the Spanish team all warming up on the the rollers before the start of this race. All of them in a line, all together, the Spanish squad of Almeida, Aranguren, Castro, Nera and Ostis. They were alongside each other, chatting away in the pits area, just trying to get those legs warmed up nicely ahead of the race.
So we're going to sign in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thanks very much for joining us. I hope that your rider you're cheering on is here in the peloton and still going well. If you'd like to be in touch, at Ant McCrossan is where you can get hold of me. Don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. We hit the cobbles for the penultimate time in this race. Let's just see who's prepared to take this on. Aaron Boothman moves up on the right-hand side. Yet again, it's Anya Grossman in the red and white on the left. Poland's starting to look interested now as we come towards the conclusion of this race. Maria Okryczynska is their sole representative, number 16. Still Italy with 3 riders. France on the right-hand side with Poirier. Who is going to force this pace? Who is going to cause the selection? Now Spain's starting to lose riders. Armenia goes. So does Aranguren. And Arabella Blackburn is being dropped as well, having been at the front of the peloton a little while ago. Kind of a drag race now. Their legs are hurting. They don't have the same snap that they had before. Romania just rocking and rolling left and right, trying to take some of the steepness out of this particular climb. Marta Dolvin being dropped for Norway as well. The Ukrainian has dropped, and now the Ethiopian comes to the front again, Sege Kiros. She's the rider who did the damage a couple of laps ago. We're heading towards the bell. A key moment as Kiros is just kind of struggling to find her line on this particular rise this time. But we are losing more riders. It seems that the pace is a lot harsher. The Greek still in there towards the back. Papadimitrou is riding strongly, and the USA have representatives. Australia on the right-hand side. Aaron Boothman of Great Britain is up there. Hasn't been anywhere near the front. This is Gabriella McHugh. Great Britain have won 3 of the last 5. That doesn't sound healthy, does it? Now the Australian team decides time to up this pace. Is this going to be one of the main selections? A good move here. I don't know about you, but I love this shot of the... It just reminds me so much of a European classic. Suddenly the Polish rider, Okryczynska, is being dropped. Also being distanced now is Lydia Cusack. Little groups of riders spread all over this cobbled climb. A real push now, a real selection starting to be made. This is the time when you really need to force. Paula Ostis looks so comfortable for Spain. We reach the top. There may be still an opportunity for some riders to come back, depending on how hard this group of riders force it now over the top. Riders just take a big deep breath as they go over the top of this climb and get themselves set for this fast section downhill and then another climb up towards the top. Underneath the red kite, 1,000 meters to go to the end of this lap, and we get the bell. Group of, 20-odd riders now at the... Orachinska comes back for Poland. She makes it onto the back of the group.
And we look up to the big screen. A lot of action. Get ready, everybody that is along this finish line here.
So we're going to see now what the average speed has been so far, how the riders are doing, because the selection is potentially being made. Anya Grossman still is the rider who consistently checks left and right as riders just survive and come back. And if this happens next lap, then riders could find themselves sprinting for the win from the back group. Because every single time we get here, everybody just looks at each other. Kiros is there. So is the Norwegian rider who's looked good all day. Oda Gissinger is in this front group. And still more riders return. Coming back is Rusmula. It's kind of stalemate. There are riders who have not even thought about being at the front of this race today. They've just hidden all day. Coming up then to complete this lap. One lap of racing to go in this Junior World Championship. And it's stalemate at the front of the peloton. There's too much at stake. Anya Grossman and De Laurentiis are the two riders who lead. So across the line that time, it was De Laurentiis, Grossman, Silo, Kiros, Carrier of Canada. Swerenga of Canada is up there as well. Gissinger of Norway. Louise Poirier, Laura Feeve of Belgium, Niamh Parslow of Australia, Erin Boothman of Great Britain, Chantal Pagolo of Italy, Paula Ostis of Spain, Tully Schweitzer of Australia is there. Maria Oruchinska of Poland is at the back. Liliana Edwards is also there. The group swelled to 24 riders as we made our way across there, and the average speed 34.013. The average speed that lap was actually helped to increase the average speed of the race. 24 riders at the front. Another group of riders trying to come back. One lap to go. The Chilean rider makes it back as well. Marlon Rojas wearing number 50. Number 61 there is Danshina. Everybody seems to be looking at Anya Grossman as the rider who has dictated everything. She is a fantastic bike rider, as you can see there. She's a great mountain biker. Now it comes down to whether someone is prepared to attack, take the risk and go away. Because there's not far left now. 14 kilometers of racing. The Italian rider on the left-hand side in that white helmet is Elena De Laurentiis. So there's 3 riders from Australia, 3 from Italy, 3 from the USA. I'll let you look at the rest of the riders who are in here. Now we get an attack. Big move off the front. You've got to be prepared to take some risks. And Roos Muller is a rider who is prepared to take some risks. Anya Grossman tries to go across, stamps on the pedals. Italy try and close the gap. They want this to be a sprint up the final climb. So Roos Muller goes. She's joined immediately by Spikarova. Anya Grossman trying to go across now. She gets there. This is a very, very dangerous move in this race. They hit the bottom of the penultimate climb with 6.7 kilometers to go. Grossman is going to make it into the front group to make it 3 attackers. The Czechia rider into second place. Spikarova. Anya Grossman just trying to make the junction now, which she does. Immediately goes to the front to try and assist in this group of riders going away. But it is Canada who don't want this to happen. They're going to close the gap. They believe that Swirenga can win this race this afternoon. So here we go then. Another counter-attack starts to happen and Swirenga closes the gap immediately. So Swirenga up towards the front. Maybe they're riding now for Canada for Raphael Carrier. She's ridden for the Arkea B&B Hotel squad this year, 2025, trainee from the 1st of August. She's won a few races this year. She's the Canadian road race champion. She's the rider on the right, just took a bottle with a red helmet on. Another big attack. Roos Muller tries to go again. If you don't succeed the first time, try and try again. Anya Grossman tries to go. Sydney Swirenga wants to make sure that this comes back. But Roos Muller has been a rider who's been distanced a couple of times in this race. And now she's trying to open up an advantage before the climbs to give herself a chance of winning. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again with 10.9 kilometers to go. Roos Muller of the Netherlands goes clear. This is a dangerous move. She's a powerful, powerful bike rider. Roos Muller now on the move. This rider rides for the NXTG racing team. Very important squad in development of women's cycling, that NXTG team. They brought so many bike riders through. They used to own the AG Insurance team, which is now part of the Soudal Quickstep team. But they've been amazing at spotting talent. Roos Muller goes through And immediately the Polish rider senses an opportunity as well. Okruczynska onto the wheel. Sydney Swarenga is the rider in that white helmet, multicoloured bike just behind. Still, Alia Marta is at the back with Megan Aarons, who has been a rider with 9 lives today. She really has. She has come back so many times. Things are really mixing up at the moment. The Italians are comfortable. Elena De Laurentiis pours some water on her head. Not far to the bottom of the climb. 2 kilometres. Arabella Blackburn comes back to the front for Great Britain, having been dropped to try and help Erin Boothman win this title. Abigail Miller is there on the right, the Greek rider to her left-hand side. So is Megan Aarons, number 22. It's all going to be about who has got it on these final 2 climbs. Can you stay in the mix? Can you go with a pace that gets set by the climbers? These riders will believe that this is their race today. Still Australia with their riders intact. So difficult to pick, isn't it? Who's going to win this title? There's so many riders who have got a chance. The average speed now over 35 kilometres an hour. They've speeded up over the last couple of laps. Arabella Blackburn turns around and takes a little look. The French rider tucks herself in. Thais Poirier. Anya Grossman is there. Little conversation at the front between these riders. Everybody looks pretty intent now. We are pretty close to the bottom of this climb. Are we going to see some attacks? Eve Parslow of Australia has always been near the front, and she is moving up again. Tilly Schweitzer is there too. Still, Arabella Blackburn sets the pace for Great Britain. When do we see the first attacks? Are they going to move on Kigali Golf? Raphael Carrier there on the right-hand side for Canada. Kissinger at the back, number 18, gives the legs a shake. She's ready for the moves, but she needs to move up a little bit. Still stalemate in this junior women's road race. It's a little nervy in there now. Riders who are thinking about taking this title, but it's really anybody's race. Paula Ostis, left-hand side of Spain, moves up. Up to mid-through, moves on the left-hand side in that blue and white jersey. Gets into the aero tuck as she comes forward. Didn't expect when we saw 18 riders left that we would have so many riders in with a chance. And still, everybody, a little bit of balking of Sydney Swarenga Schwarenga there of Canada. Anya Grossman goes. Spain try and make sure that everybody is still controlled. And Arabella Blackburn, having done her work, is distanced. Being dropped again is Roos Muller. Also being distanced is Hannah Giannati of Australia. So Australia have 2 riders left. Ethiopian rider makes her move on the right-hand side. Doesn't seem to have the legs she had earlier on in this race. Maybe did a little bit too much work. Also had that big chase when she had the mechanical. But she's forcing. Anya Grossman has ridden on the front most of this race today. Gissinger is hanging on the back as Fury is dropped. .450 meters to go. Schwarenga in the middle, Grossman in the white and red of Switzerland. Paul Ostis with her team on the left-hand side. Raphael Carrier on the right-hand side. Papadimitriou is tucked in. The Ethiopian rider not prepared to go on the attack here this time. She's still there or thereabouts. Sergei Kiros. Sunshine comes out onto the back of the riders as they hug the right-hand side of the road, and it's still a bit of stalemate. There's been no real acceleration, but finally Spain starts it. And we get the accelerations because they need to make it hard. Otherwise, there's going to be too many riders left in this race. It becomes a big lottery if you don't get rid of some riders. And that sudden acceleration drops some riders. Laura Feeve is dropped for Belgium. Also distanced is Leah Marta of Switzerland. But the pace goes out again. They're over the top of the penultimate climb of the day. It's all going to be about the cobbles. It's almost a track stand race now. They're going to let everybody back in after having had that little acceleration. How does this race get won? Is someone going to launch and just take an opportunity? Because right now, if you launch and you try, you never know what might happen. Abigail Miller comes back. Moving up on the outside is Gissinger. Does she try and go on the move? No one is prepared to take a risk. But you take 20 seconds right now and you never know. More riders come back. It is a course that's caused stalemate in the women junior race. Marlon Rojas, right-hand side. Anya Grossman looking for a big win for Switzerland. The first ever winner of this race in 1987 was Catherine Marcel. Other winners include Ashlyn Barry's mum, Demet Barry. She won in 1989 in Moscow. The Lidl Trek Sports Director, Ina Yoko Tutenberg, won. And finally, we get a rider prepared to take a risk. This is a big move. The Greek rider decides, I'm not prepared to wait for the sprint. Papadimitriou goes. Big acceleration. This is a good move by Papadimitriou. Big acceleration, and she's opening up a little bit of a gap now. Maybe she doesn't trust to have the sprint up the final climb. And a big, long group of riders. Irini Papadimitriou rides for that NXTG racing team. She'll have been taught how to win bike races by that squad. We're not far from the cobbles. We get there in 2.2 kilometers time. A big stretch of this race. Irini Papadimitriou, look at that big acceleration down the right-hand side. Comes from Rhodes in Greece. Well, she's got the gap. And Anya Grossman doesn't necessarily want to close this. Otherwise, she's going to ruin her own chances. She goes into time trial mode now. There's only a few meters between her and the rest of the peloton, but she's moving well. She won the recent Volta Portugal under-19 race, so don't underestimate this rider. Well, the Spanish team are going to hunt her down. Checks over her shoulder again. Still Megan Aarons hangs on. And Spain close it down. They want this rider to win on the left-hand side. Paula Ostis, second last year to Kat Ferguson. Now they start to turn. Going to the front, the Polish rider, Okroczynska. 3.3 kilometers now remain in this race. Sergei Kyrgios is still there for Ethiopia. Paul Ostis on the front. So whether they're going to ride for her now, judging by the amount of work she's doing at this point in the race, it's not a good time to be doing that. We come down and we get ready for the cobbles for the final time. Maybe she felt it was important to be at the front. Now we get onto the cobbles and Anya Grossman decides to go. This is her time to accelerate. Grossman decides it's time to put on the hurt for everybody else. This is a big acceleration. Paula Ostis is with her. Erin Berthman is there. So is Sydney Swarenga. And the Ethiopian rider, Sergei Kyrgios, is there as well. This is the moment in this race where you have to fight and have to be at the front of this bike race. Okroczynska is also there. Paula Ostis suffering on the left-hand side, stamping on the pedals. But Anya Grossman is going to go full flight all the way. Oh, and Erin Berthman again pulls her feet out of the pedals. Why? They haven't fixed that over the last few days. That's incredible. She pulled her foot out. Or maybe it's cramp or something's happened. Tully Schweitzer also. And disappointment for the British rider. Anya Grossman ups the tempo. Paula Ostis right-hand side. Swarenga is there. So is the Ethiopian, Sergei Kyrgios. This could be an historic moment for Africa. She doesn't seem to quite have the legs right now. She's going a little bit backwards. Two Italian riders still there. And Anya Grossman has gone full flight all the way up this climb. Okroczynska is dropped. Sergei Kyrgios fighting for all she is worth. The two Italian riders are still in the group. Chantal Pagolo and Giada Silo. Anya Grossman gets set. The French rider is dropped. Thais Poirier is out the back. And suddenly the Ethiopian rider cracks as well. That's a shame for her. Sergei Kyrgios, I think she did too much work too early. And we have a selection of 5 riders now at the front. Anya Grossman has literally ripped this race apart on the final climb. So we continue with it, and that's such a bad moment for Erin Berthman. Surely someone should have checked those pedals. If you pull your foot out in a time trial, This is the front group. Swarenga is there. Pegolo is the rider in the blue helmet. Number 27, there is Silo. Well, that filled-in helmet, the Italian colours, is Pegolo. The other Italian is Silo. And Swarenga of Canada is looking good. Paula Ostis and Anya Grossman still riding full on. It's such a shame for the Ethiopian. I think she did too much work and then she had to chase, because she was the best climber earlier on in the race, but there is no point being the best climber on lap 2. You have to be the best climber on the final lap of racing. Right now we have 5 riders going for the medals. They can't mess around here. Tadej Pogačar of France knows that if they hesitate, she's got a chance. And they all hesitate and all look at each other. Italy need to take this on now, otherwise they're all coming back. They've made the selection, now they need to ride. Swarenga, number 15 on the right-hand side. They are playing into the hands of the chasers right now. There is no point doing this. They're about to throw this world title away. 7 seconds. They're going to let some riders back in. If you ride like this for the last kilometre, then it looks like it will come back together. This is not good news. It's stalemate in the front group. Where are the chasers? 500 metres to go. They must feel that the chasers won't come back. So 5 riders getting set. There is 1 chaser in the gap, and it is the French rider who's trying to get herself back here. Poirier is almost there for France, the only rider left in the French squad. She's closing in steadily. Poirier is going to catch these 5 riders at the front. Grossman has been the rider in control of this entire race. Paula Ostis was the silver medalist last year. Poirier is nearly there. They're almost back now, and suddenly these riders believe that there is a chance of winning this medal, and the Ethiopian is kicking. Segi Kiros has got the legs and is trying to come back now. Catch the and take a medal for Africa. There, 200 meters of racing to go, and look at Segi Kiros of Ethiopia on the right hand side as she tries to get back front. The sprint has started and Kiros is back on the group of riders. Here they go now. Paula Ostis starts the sprint very early. Ostis goes. On her wheel is Pegolo of Italy. But is it going to be Ostis? It is. Silver last year. Ostis is the world champion from Pegolo, from Anya Grossman. Behind them was... Kiros was not too far away, but it is Paula Ostis of Spain who takes the victory. She takes the world title she's been looking for. Collapses on the ground after that sprint. It means a lot. The other day she looked incredibly disappointed, didn't she, in her not taking the gold. Spain have only ever taken a silver last year with Paula Ostis. This time she's the world champion. What a job they did for her today. They chased everything down. They knew she had the chance. She finally takes it. It was stalemate on that climb, wasn't it? Absolute stalemate. They almost let everybody back in. They timed it to perfection. 6th place for Tadej Pogačar, 7th place for the Ethiopian Segi Kiros. Niamh Parslow of Australia in 8th. Maria Okryczynska in 9th. Alicia Sarkisov of USA in 10th. Finally have a gold medalist in the Junior Women's World Championship. It's their first one since 1987 when this race started. They've never taken the gold. I saw them all warming up earlier today. Their preparation was right. They did everything they had to do. They chased everything down when they had to. They finally take the world title. Yes. The final sprint as Tadej Pogačar and the French rider Tadej Pogačar came back onto the group. The sprint just opened up in time. Chantal Pagolo of Italy in 2nd, Anya Grossman of Switzerland in 3rd. She was the rider of the race, no doubt. Emotional scenes here at the finish line.
Gracias. Wow. ¿Tienes el tapón? No, no me lo veo. Gracias.
And the head of the Movistar team of which she rides says congratulations.
Wow.
Well, they were the team who looked to have things under control, didn't they? Almania was the rider who went on the attack. She was the rider who took the pressure off everybody. Great work by Spain in that race. She's a popular rider, this one. Let's take a look at the result of the women's junior race. Paula Ostis of Spain wins in 2 hours, 9 minutes and 19 seconds. Italy take the silver with Chantal Pagolo. Switzerland, Anya Grossman, very well deserved 3rd place. Canada's Sydney Swarengo in 4th. Kira Silo in 5th. Thaïs Poirier, France, in 6th place. A big moment for Africa. Segi Kiros finishes in the top 10 for Ethiopia. We get ready for the interview and the podium presentation here in Kigali. Here's the moment of that sprint. She was the most powerful over the top of that rise. The chasers were right on the tail.
Ahora, segunda del crono, hay 2, 3 días y ahora campeona del mundo. Es una semana increíble.
Sí, es un sueño hecho realidad, ¿no? No tengo palabras. Mi familia me está viendo ahora, todo el país. Y Manol, la persona que está día a día conmigo, mi familia, solo puedo darle las gracias a ellos porque para mí es una persona súper importante, ¿no? Y nada, se me ha hecho realidad. Solo puedo dar, no sé, mucha felicidad tengo encima y solo quiero disfrutarlo con mi familia, con ellos, con las personas que me rodean y ya.
Vamos a hablar un poco del día y del final, con más o menos 10 otras corredores, muy difícil y supongo mucha tensión.
Sí, no, sabía que tenía que guardar hasta el final porque he visto todas las carreras anteriores y bueno, hay a veces que me costaba un poco en los repechos más duros, ¿no? Y sabía que el sprint podía ser rápida, pero al final me había dado un pequeño calambre, ¿no? Y solo quería guardar hasta el sprint y lo